Isekai, the anime genre filled with every weeb's dream of being overpowered and having many hoes without any effort whatsoever. Let's be honest, you're not a certified weeb unless you used to think this generic looking guy was the most badass swordsman in anime. Yeah, in my defense, I was 12 at the time. Depression was my personality. But nowadays, this guy is copy and pasted everywhere to the point where even Boku no Pico has a more unique storyline and plot twists. FBI, open up! When I refer to trash isekai, I'm generally talking about any anime with a cover that looks like this. So pretty much if SAO and Mushoku Tensei had children, it would be all the trash isekai we have today. By now, the formula for these isekais are pretty clear to see. The protagonist is usually a degenerate, gets isekai'd by Chunkun, becomes overpowered, gets a harem, and almost never gets another season. But yet we still watch them because how else are we gonna fight our depression than to fill it with trash anime that reflects our fantasies?
ご飯にする？お風呂にする？それともは
You ever realize that the majority of protagonists in isekai are usually otakus? A lot like the people who watch isekai and know what it means. I'm sure the previous life of Rudy can be reflected on the majority of people who watch Mushoku Tensei. You're probably depressed to an extent, playing with your little Excalibur to anime with an H, only to get hit with post-nut clarity and questioning why you hate your life. Deep down, you probably want to change too, but instead of trying to face reality and the society of this world, you immerse yourself into a fantasy world where the rules are different and girls actually talk to you. Like most protagonists in isekai, what you want is a second chance at life. And yeah, I know it's fiction and Top G lives rent-free in my head, but think about it. Other than entertainment, one of the reasons why we watch anime is because it inspires us. Just like how hentai makes people watch with one hand, you probably try to go Super Saiyan once, try to do handjutsus, or try to join the volleyball team after watching Haikyuu. We want to physically take action when we see something cool. It's cool to see a hardworking underdog be an arrogant genius. I know I'm not the only one that bought weighted ankle sleeves when Lee took off his waist to fight Gaara, although they massacred my boy in Boruto. But besides the incredible world building that shonen has to keep us entertained, most shonen protagonists are written to have a set goal, and with those goals, there are hardships that come along with it. And that's usually where most of the character development blossoms. Naruto went from being an outcast to being Hokage. He was a nobody and became the highest status a shinobi can have. And most importantly, he grew from chasing a hoe to choosing a queen. He suffered a lot to get there, and we suffered that pain with him. I'm sure there's an anime scene that you can always go back to that will give you motivation and the utmost emotions. In trash isekai, however, when the main character is given a new identity that is near perfect in a new world, it kinda lacks emotional investment. It's hard to invest into characters whose only flaw is having no personality, and a world full of NPCs. Every character around the protagonist feels like every girl I've been with. Fake. Every girl that has interacted with them literally feels like the girls you interact with in Doki Doki Literature Club. You got the childhood friend, the yandere, the tsundere, and the mommy. All that's missing is a 3,000-year-old lolly and the only reasonable love interest, and you got every weeb's holy grail. Instead of feeling connected to the story, we insert ourselves into that protagonist. We insert ourselves into an average protagonist that has now become an overpowered edgelord with hopes that our own dreams will be handed to us without the need of any work. Everyone likes a character with no flaws, but no one wants to see a character learn from his dumb mistakes. Like real life, no one wants to work hard and fail, but everyone wants to see the results. People don't like Subaru because he rejected Rim, but people tend to forget that he's human. He's flawed. The guy's a 17-year-old NEET. Of course he's gonna make dumb mistakes like everyone else. Stop trying to put your expectations for yourselves on a fictional character. But in my opinion, he should have chose Felix, not Milia. With our attention spans shortening every day, people tend to forget that it's gonna take time for Subaru to grow as a person. Remember, it took 700 episodes for Naruto to see through Sakura. And because of those flaws that he has, we tend to give up on the anime and him as a whole because of that simple fact. Just like how most of the time, we tend to give up on trying new things because we suck at it. We don't like self-inserting ourselves into weak characters that make illogical decisions. Why do you think there's hardly any fat anime protagonists? Because it's not aligned to badassery. Everyone can be fat and lazy, but it takes hard work to get in the same body that the anime phantoms can thirst upon. But all that hard work is thrown out and meaningless when Chunkun gets screen time. And if you do find any fat main characters, you're probably in the wrong genre of anime. In Isekai, Chunkun is the character development, and when you think about it, it's kinda like the underlying god of Isekai. Isekai has gone to the point where even the sitcom versions of them are way more entertaining, and it's sad to see the potential be dropped because the majority of its audience prefer trash. The more and more I watch Isekai, the more I realize that the highest expectations we could have for an Isekai protagonist is this guy. Kazuma is the literal embodiment of a Giga Chad compared to the modern Isekai protagonist. Yes, I'm talking about the guy that yearns for gender equality. At least he knows how to stand his own ground and talk to women.